Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Hurricane Helene as it makes its way toward Georgia and metro Atlanta.
Now, this is now expected to make landfall as a powerful Category 4 storm, and we're going to be with you all night right here with our coverage. Let's start tonight with our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, and meteorologist Melissa Nord, as they are both tracking this storm. So what's the latest right now?
The latest is that it has been upgraded to that Category 4. When we left you at 6 o'clock tonight, we were saying it was a Category 3. They gave us an intermediate advisory or position update saying that this has now gone from 125-mile-an-hour winds to 130-mile-an-hour winds, which makes it a Category 4 hurricane.
It is interesting to see on the satellite loop the last couple of hours. It's really winding up, wrapping up, and you can see that clear eye wall where the strongest winds are. And we're expecting that eye wall in a different form as it's weaker after landfall to move into parts of North Georgia. So big impacts to come overnight tonight while you're asleep, while you are hearing things outside, and we're going to be here through the whole duration of the event to kind of walk you through what's happening out there.
And as we mentioned earlier, if you're looking for Jeopardy, it is on our sister station on WATL, Channel 36, but we're going to be here committed to give you this live breaking coverage as this eye wall is going to be making hurricane really within just a matter of hours and the impacts on us locally.
What's crazy though, if you look at this big picture, I mean, as this is coming in, the storm surge, Chris, along the Big Bend, the top of the Big Bend, all the way down to the east, could be in some places 15 to as much as 20 feet. You can't survive that in a two-story building. So really significant impacts on the coast. But because it's moving so quickly, it's still a significant hurricane when it crosses the state line into Georgia. And that sets us in a place for significant winds overnight as well.
And that's what we're going to be tracking for you. Melissa's focusing on those local impacts. She's going to track keeping an eye on those flood warnings that are in effect out there right now. Here's the system and the latest that we have. It looks like it's taking a little bit of a jog to the east, still thinking it's going to go up to the Big Bend region. We're going to be on the air when this makes landfall coming up in just a little while during the next couple of hours. We think 8, 9 o'clock is when we'll actually see the center of that circulation crossing over the coast. But that's the center of circulation. We know this is a very large hurricane impacting a lot of people, and the impacts are far outside of just that center of that circulation. Look at this over along the western peninsula of Florida there, where we have a tornado watch in effect. We have these bands moving in. That is prompting this tornado warning in one of those bands over near the Fort Myers area. We also have a tornado watch in effect for North Florida into South Georgia. We've got a couple of tornado warnings in South Georgia right now. Another tornado watch over in eastern Georgia and into South Carolina. And then that moisture is feeding our way. So there you see it, a Cat 4. Maximum sustained winds 130 miles an hour. This is moving north-northeast at 23 miles an hour. So this is moving at a pretty fast pace. Good news and bad news about that is, the good news is it's going to move through our area very quickly, but because it is moving so fast, the weakening process is going to be slowed down a little bit. So I want you to see this. After landfall, it's a Cat 4, but it's moving so quickly into southwest Georgia, it's still going to be a Category 2 hurricane there in South Georgia, and then by the time it gets to us, it will be a tropical storm, and then you can see that area of low pressure as it diminishes into Tennessee and also into the Kentucky area. That'll be once we get into later Friday and also into the weekend as well. Here's a look at the alerts that we have right now. Of course, you would think there would be a hurricane warning there at landfall along the coast, but I want you to look at that red color. This is a hurricane warning that not only extends into South Georgia and into Middle Georgia, but also into the South Metro counties. Some of these counties included in the hurricane warning are Upson County, Pike County, Lamar County, Spalding County, Butts County, and Jasper County. The rest of us are in that tropical storm warning with tropical storm force winds, talking winds 40 to 60 miles an hour here. In that red area where we have the hurricane warning, we're talking winds around 80 miles an hour with some of those gusts that will be moving through. Take a look at these winds that we're talking about, where you do see 53 mile an hour winds in Eatonton early tomorrow morning, 40 mile an hour winds in Athens, 50 mile an hour winds in Gainesville. And then look at Atlanta, getting up to 47-mile-an-hour winds at 6:30. Same thing for Thomaston, Peachtree City, Marietta, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is going to be a very impactful system here in our area. Melissa Nord is standing by here. She's going to be showing us some of those flood products that we have, as well as what we're watching out there. But before we do that, we want to go to Angelina Salcido. She is in Valdosta. You know, Angelina, last night at 11 o'clock, we saw you down in Florida covering the storm there. And as people were preparing, you have now, before landfall, moved up into Valdosta, where they are going to be seeing, even inland there, the potential still for a Category 2 status hurricane moving through. How are they preparing?
And that's exactly why they're concerned, Chris, because of the wind speeds that they're expected to see here, and the fact that just last August, Hurricane Idalia passed by this area and left the road that we are standing along right now pretty much wiped out, with a whole bunch of trees, power lines down, and a lot of houses ended up being impacted as well. Now, they are preparing in the fact that they have gotten some sandbags. A lot of people have boarded up, or other people have evacuated as well. But we do want to talk a little bit about this area. As you can tell right now, the rain continues to fall, and it has been continuous for the last several hours. Now, if you take a look this way, we are at the Baytree Corner Plaza. This is pretty much where we're going to be posted up to ride out this storm. The reason why we chose this area is because Baytree Road is heavily populated with trees. There's a lot of vegetation in this area, a lot of power lines as well, and that is the issue that residents here are worried about. A lot of people that live along Baytree Road have actually evacuated to shelters. We were at one of those shelters. There are 3 in Lowndes County that have been opened in order for people to kind of take shelter and ride out this storm and then go back to see what is left later on. I want you to take a look at some video from the inside of that shelter earlier today. It opened at 2 o'clock. People started to come in there. They were offered some snacks. They were offered anything to make them feel comfortable and kind of ease their anxieties as well, just because they really don't know what to expect when it comes to Hurricane Helene and the impacts that we're going to be seeing here. The Red Cross is running this shelter. Take a listen to what the director had to say about how they've been preparing.
They come in to stay here for the evening. We have snacks ready for them. This church, Park Avenue, has been so gracious. I see they already have a television set up for children. They're watching movies. They're having a nice, comfortable place to stay for the evening.
Now, you guys saw the video of the shelter from a few hours ago. When we left that shelter, it was drastically different. That shelter was packed. A lot of different families that are there that came from all over the county, really, to get to a safer place to ride out the storm. Those kids, as you heard the director say there, being able to watch some movies. They also have food as well. They're going to be fed overnight. So overall, their anxieties about riding out the storm are feeling a lot better. But again, they don't know what they're going to wake up to tomorrow morning. They are interested to see what they're going to go home to, and we of course are going to be bringing you those updates. We'll be riding out the storm here in Valdosta. We're live tonight in Valdosta. Melissa, I'm going to send it back to you.